Well, let's start with the basics. My name is Mr. Chrisman, but if you prefer, you can call me Mr. C. I'm 34, so I was born October 10th, 1985, which is the same day and month as Brett Favre, not the same year. More on that later. I currently live in Northfield, Minnesota, with my wife and my 6-year-old son. We spent all summer together. And distance learning. It was a really good time, a lot of great bonding time. I have 2 older brothers that are quite a bit older than I am, and then I have a younger sister who's just a little bit younger than I am. I've lived in 3 different states. I was born in Utah, but spent most of my life growing up in Wisconsin, and that's why I said more on Brett Favre later, which again we'll get to in a little while. That's about it for the basics. Now on to what is one of my number 1 passions. We'll do a little bit of a change of scenery like that, out on the lake a little bit. This is one of my passions too. I like being out on the water, but probably one of my biggest passions of all time is dinosaurs. And it really stems from the picture that you just saw. So I was born in 1985. So in 1993, the very first and, in my opinion, best Jurassic Park movie came out. And my older brother, who's 10 years older than I am, knew how much I liked dinosaurs, or thought it would be interesting for me to go. I guess I should take that back. I wasn't as into dinosaurs as I was going to be after watching Jurassic Park. So he took me to the movie theater, and it was the very first movie that I ever saw in the theater. And it just completely blew my mind. I loved absolutely every part of that movie. And in particular, those velociraptors, they are my favorite dinosaur of all time, even though they are quite different than what you see in Jurassic Park. And that passion drove me to going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to get my undergrad degree in geology. In order to be a paleontologist, you have to either study biology or geology. So I picked geology, and while I was there, they had a really cool geology museum just right on campus, and we were able to, as students, give tours to school-age kids. And I had a blast talking to kids about the Earth, dinosaurs, and it really also got me into teaching a little bit as well. Part of my academic career in Madison, we had the opportunity to go out to Wyoming and dig up dinosaurs. So, as a 17, 18-year-old kid who grew up loving Jurassic Park, it was kind of a dream come true to go and actually get your hands physically on dinosaur bones, some of the biggest living organisms that ever walked the earth. So it blew my mind, was a ton of fun. And that passion has stayed with me, even to the fact where I can share that with you guys. I'm able to share dinosaurs with you through a class that you can take here at Rosemount High School. It's called Dinosaur Paleontology and Field Experience. So I take you through the 100 or so million years of dinosaur evolution. We go outside and dig up dinosaur bones that are out up on the hill. And it's just one of those things that's always inspired me. It's always made me think about how old the earth is and how life is so different. And I absolutely love how important dinosaurs are to our Earth's history, but also to what we're dealing with now in terms of climate change. Dinosaurs were able to survive many different climate change events, and we can learn a lot from what they evolved or adapted in order to survive for millions and millions of years, something that humans are in jeopardy of doing right now. All right, let's change scenery and do something a little bit different. You're probably thinking, man, my science teacher is such a nerd, which, I mean, is probably a good thing for you, but nerds, I mean, they have a reputation. In my opinion, it's always good to be a nerd. Nerd it up as much as you need to, because nerds make the world go around. But at the same time, I don't want you to think that's all I am as a nerd, so I'm going to show you a couple of other things I can do. We're going to start with something simple like running. So I know not overly exciting, running. I mean, anybody can do that, but I've been able to run marathons. My fastest marathon is 3 hours and 11 minutes. So you're running 26 miles in that amount of time. Each mile then is about 7 minutes and 15 seconds. So think about that before you say running isn't a sport. Let's try something else. What about football? Let's try some tennis. The world's most popular sport, soccer. Oh, I'm terrible at soccer. Basketball? So really, my second passion is learning. You might be thinking, really, learning? But learning is important to me. And it's important because I get a lot out of it. I've always liked school, mainly the learning part. You know, diving into a topic and trying to understand as much as I could about it, whatever the topic was, from, you know, I really like ancient Egypt and mythology and Rome and all that kind of stuff. I really dove into that at one point. Obviously dinosaurs and stuff like that, but I like to learn. I think that's kind of how I wrap my mind around school and being a teacher is, you know, I'm not the only one who's learning in my classroom. And I hope throughout this process of learning with me this year, you understand that as well, that I'm as much of a learner as you are in the classroom. And I want to be a part of your process and your learning and your journey. And I want to learn from you as well. As far as, you know, things that I'm learning about, I'm always learning new tricks or new ways to learn so that I can help you guys learn better. I've been doing some research about velociraptors, you know, my favorite dinosaur. I've been learning things that are pretty interesting, that we're able to take a fossil skull of a velociraptor, put it into a machine and kind of do like a CAT scan on the inside of that skull and reconstruct their brain and take a look at their anatomy and try to figure out what kind of behaviors these guys had, you know, from hearing to vision to vocalization. And that whole thing is pretty cool to me, the idea that velociraptors might have talked to each other similar to what, you know, birds do today. And, you know, I think that's why I like science so much, is that I can continuously learn. It's not a static topic. Scientific research is happening all the time, and it allows us to kind of deepen our understanding or try to understand the world around us. So learning is one of those really important things to me. So I'm going to leave you with some goals that I have. Some of them involve you. One of my long-term goals is to do brand new research on a dinosaur and be able to publish that. Give back to the academic community a little bit based on all of the stuff that other scientists have done for me in terms of my understanding. A personal goal that I have, and this is extremely long term, is to be the best possible dad that I can be to my son. He's 6, and I want him to grow up to be a kind, strong person. So it's going to be something that, my relationship with him is going to ebb and flow, and hopefully I can lead him down the right path and give him the tools to make the right choices. But that's very important to me. And then a goal that I have for this year is to help each and every single one of you on your academic journey this year, to help you reach your goals, whatever they are. If they're academic, if they're personal goals, or athletic, or whatever your goals are. My goal is to help you attain, or at least get a little bit closer to those goals. So I'm going to leave you with that. That's what makes me tick a little bit. If you'd like to learn more about me, have questions about things like which is better, DC Comics or Marvel, DC is better. We can talk through that. We can nerd it up about all sorts of things. That's the thing. You can be a nerd about anything, from science to math to sports to Star Wars, which is better than Star Trek, to anything. So we can talk through that stuff. If you have questions, just send me a message or talk to me, hopefully in person. And I'll see you around.